MFK Game Calls, and as promised, we're going to start doing a series of videos, instructional videos, to help y'all better understand all the different MFK diaphragms, how to do the sounds on them, and which diaphragm is suited for which sound, or the best sounds that each diaphragm does. Before we get into that, one thing I want to mention, since MFK come out a couple years ago, diaphragms for predator hunting wasn't mainstream, wasn't very popular. And MFK is what got that to where it is now. They're extremely popular. They're gaining popularity every day with a lot of hunters. Prior to MFK, all you really ever heard about on diaphragms with predator calling would be somebody taking an elk diaphragm or some diaphragm that was built for producing some other type of animal sound like elk or turkey. They would take those diaphragms and try to flip them upside down or clip the reeds in them or something like that to howl with them or do some kind of distress sound. When I started building MFK diaphragms, I built the calls specifically for the voice of the target animal. If it's a coyote, it's voiced for coyotes. If it's a rabbit, it's voiced for a rabbit, coon, gray fox, and so on. And when MFK started doing that, diaphragms became extremely popular because of the realism of them. And we've got multiple world championships to back that up, sweeping the competitions and stuff like that using these calls. No other company out there can say that. What these other companies are doing is really muddying the water and confusing a lot of people when they get ready to buy diaphragms. There's nobody else out there like MFK, and nobody else out there producing the calls that MFK does. We've got the exclusive on a lot of the latex that's in these calls, and I'm the originator of a lot of these sounds that you're hearing on diaphragm calls like coon distress, gray fox, etc. But a lot of these companies are making some big bold claims and putting stuff out there on the internet, on their website, on Facebook, stuff like that, telling you about how they can do all the same things that MFK can do and how they can produce these super realistic sounds. The difference between MFK and these other guys and these other companies that are making those claims is we back it up, just like with this video series that we're doing for you now. We back up what we say. We don't just tell you what these calls will do. We demonstrate the sounds, show you that we can do them. I make the calls. I'm going to show you that I can blow these calls. I'm not just going to tell you how good they are and expect you to believe it. I'm going to back it up and show it to you. All the guys associated with MFK are excellent hunters. That's what we do day in, day out. We don't just tell you about how good we are or how we can kill all this stuff and then not show you any proof to back it up. We're going to show you what the calls sound like. We're going to tell you how to go about making those sounds. And then, as most of you probably already know, if you know anything about MFK, you know that we do a lot of videos backing those calls up in action. We show you the hunts. We show you the animals responding to them. And you can compare that to any of the other shows on TV, any of the other videos on the internet. Watch the distance and the range that we're killing these animals and the reaction to them. We're not setting an electronic call up out there and shooting these coyotes at 200 yards when they stick their head up over a hill. You know, we're calling them in our lap every time. And that's the difference between having a call that'll produce super realistic sounds that animal is not suspicious of. You know, a lot of times, if you don't have a hard charger run right in your lap, that coyote's going to circle or he's going to get suspicious and so on. But anyway, when you get ready to buy calls, especially diaphragms, and I'm not saying that electronic calls and hand calls are a bad thing. I've used them in the past. But when you get ready to buy calls, specifically diaphragms, keep in mind that some companies just make big bold claims and don't back it up. Other ones prove to you time and time again that they work, and MFK is one of those companies. And as always, if you ever have any questions or anything like that, you can call me, Jason. My number's 870-820-0382. I'll help you out any way I can on how to run the calls or whatever your question may be. So keep that in mind when you get ready to buy diaphragm calls.